Do you think in the therapeutic world we tend to live in today that many times people, in an effort to absolve themselves of responsibility, will fall back on, the old devil made me do it, but that idea that I can't really, yes, what I did may not have been right, but there's all these reasons why I did it, and in an effort to absolve themselves of responsibility?
Yeah, I think sometimes, we can try and excuse ourselves. But, if there really is, there was a great book that was written by a guy named Paul Ricoeur, very fine phenomenological psychologist, philosopher, called Freedom in Nature, the Voluntary and the Involuntary. And I think, if we kind of diagnose, there really are states or impediments that render a person somewhat involuntary. They undermine the full consent of the will. And the church uses very strong language there, either full consent of the will or complete consent of the will in the catechism. And so that's a real high bar to get over. So, I suppose one could try and excuse oneself, but, you don't want to discount also a person who really does have some kind of deep depression, psychological disorder, where they are rendered involuntary by something either unconscious or by some kind of coercion from a terrible psychological impediment, or force or coercion from the outside. So, but by and large, that would be the for something to be morally sinful, it would have to have that. But you'd have to be very careful and very authentic in your own examination of conscience.
Right.
If you're going to say, I'm just not going to go to confession, or I'm not going to ask for forgiveness, I'm just not culpable here.
Right.
That would be ridiculous. My
Right.
thought is, when in doubt, go to confession. Whether if something is really grievous matter,
Right.
And you may have had full consent of the will, you really ought to be first asking for the Lord's forgiveness with the intention
Right.
to go to confession, and then finish up by going to confession.
Okay, very good. Sometimes I wonder if some of us try to avoid hearing too much of what the truth is, because then we feel like we're obligated to follow it. So what I don't know, I don't have to deal with.
Well, that's called culpable ignorance. You can't do that either.
Okay.